and then what each letter means beside it. And then do you remember yesterday I taught you how to use your multiples to help you divide? Okay. So we're going to write the multiples of 3 over here. Why did I choose 3? It's the divisor. Ooh, I like your math vocabulary. So write it out to the side, but leave a little, see how I left a little space on the edge of the paper? Leave a little space because I'm going to have you write something beside each number or some of the numbers today. Does anyone remember where I can stop on this?
The 9.
The 9. So 3 times 9 is what? 27. Good. And then some of the kids in my Block 1 class forgot their decimal in their answer. So is it a good idea just to get that on there to start with? Yeah. Get that on there to start with. And Liliana, would you please close the door? Did it make you too cold yesterday, Miguel and Gage, when I opened that window? Okay. So I'll open that window a little bit. I'm going to give you just about 1 more minute to get all this written down, so do it quickly. Are you messing with me? Okay, so I'm going to talk you through this, and I'm adding a little step because of what has been happening all day. There's been a little bit of an issue with the division step, okay? So I'm going to add something to it in hopes that that will help you, all right? So I'm going to start by dividing. 4 divided by 3 will not go evenly, okay? So I go over and I find the number closest to 4 that doesn't go over, and what is it?
3.
Right beside that, I want you to write divided by 3. Kids are forgetting to write their digits at the top. So what is 3 divided by 3?
1.
Write your 1 down. Now, do you remember yesterday when I said let's put a little multiplication sign there to help us? Remember? So what 2 digits will I multiply?
3 times 1.
3 times 1. You with me?
Yeah.
What do I do after I multiply?
Subtract.
Subtract. After I subtract, what do I do?
Check.
Check. What do I check?
If the remainder is less than the divisor.
If the remainder is less than the divisor. Or if you can't remember those words, can you say, is the 1 less than the 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can bring down the 2. Notice there's a bit of a space between those 2, and it's okay. Now I'm ready to start the process all over again. So I go all the way back up to the divide, and we start again. And I'm going to pull some sticks, okay? Caden, do you see a 12 over here?
Yes.
So I can use it, can't I?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to write divided by, what's my divisor? 3. Caden, what's the answer to 12 divided by 3?
4.
Where do I write the 4?
On top of the 2.
Very good. Directly above the 2. Okay, Aubrey, what do I do next?
You check.
After I divide,
Multiply.
multiply. So what am I multiplying?
4 and 3.
What's my answer?
12.
Did you notice I kind of spread that 12 apart also so it would line up evenly? Okay. So after that, Destiny, what do I do? I subtract. So what's 12 minus 12? It's a 0. Okay. Is 0 less than 3?
Yeah.
So what do I do?
Bring down other.
Okay. Now, after we bring it down, what do we go back to the top and do?
Divide.
Divide, okay? So when I divide in, Joe, which number over to the side is closest to 3? The 3, right? So I'm going to do 3 divided by 3 again. What's the answer? 1. Miguel, what comes after that? Thank you for remembering. So what 2 numbers?
The 1 and the 3.
The 1 and the 3. And am I ignoring this 0 right here? Yeah, I'm ignoring it. I'm not going to bring it down or write it again. Okay, so I'm ready to subtract. What do I have? 0. Okay, so what comes next? Adrian, what comes next? Check. Okay, what do I check? Is the remainder lower than the divisor? He says yes. So I can bring down the 6. Okay, and I notice that there are several of you who know what's coming next and you're already doing it. And that's good. Okay, so this next one, Samantha, what is it time to do now? After you bring it down?
Divide.
Divide. So I'm going to find what number over here?
6.
And what am I going to divide by?
3.
What is 6 divided by 3?
2.
Okay. Do you think this is helping at all? Maybe a little bit. Okay. So after I divide, Dave, what do I do?
Multiply.
Multiply. Which two numbers?
The 2 and the 3.
Good. 2 times 3 equals? And a lot of you are already done, but we still need to check, is 0 less than 3?
Yes.
Do I have any numbers left to bring down?
No.
So I can write my answer. 1.412. Who knows how to say that?
1 and 412,000.
1 and 412 thousandths. Very good. Okay, let's go down to the next one. Now, on your exit ticket, you actually have to do a place value chart with the divisor of 2. Okay? So we're going to practice this place value chart mostly because you've got one on your exit ticket. And in Zern, you have to make your own rows and add your own dots. And you're going to work on that today when you're done with the exit ticket or for Math Win. So first of all, what will I need to skip count by here?
2.
And I want to start with a 0. Do you remember where I can stop?
28.
2 times 9. Good. So the 18. You don't have to rewrite does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers because you can just look up at the top of your page. But to get it set up, we have to have 1, 1, 3/10, 2 hundredths, and 4 thousandths. Miss Jays, you can get a refill on that Harvest Punch or Witch's Brew or whatever it was. It's in the teacher's lounge.
I'll have to do that after this class.
Yes. Okay. So I think I'm ready to divide. Looks like I've got 1, 1. So which number over here is closest to 1? 0. So I'll write a 0 there. It's actually going to be 0 divided by 2, but we know the answer. What is it? 0 is always the hero. So now I'm going to do what, boys and girls? Multiply. I get a 0 again. When I subtract, what do I get? 1. And you aren't going to have one this hard on your exit ticket, okay? You're not going to have one. Well, you might have one where you have to put a 0 in the front, but it's not on your place value chart, okay? So this is what I started with, 1, 1, correct? Okay? So what do I have to do to this? I've got to break it apart into how many? 10 tenths, right? And when I do that, when I break it apart into 10 tenths, it should give me 13. Yes. You have the option of doing the 10 like this if you want. But you've got to move the 1 over. 1 over. Okay, so it looks like my place value chart matches my standard algorithm. 13 tenths, okay? So now I'm going to pull a stick. Liliana, which number is closest to 13 without going over? 12. So what am I dividing by? No, what's this number? 2 is my divisor. So divide it by 2. And what's your answer, Liliana? 12 divided by 2. 6. You already said it, didn't you? So write the 6 down. I had some kids that brought me their exit ticket. They had all these numbers down here correctly, and they didn't write one thing up there. Because they're just taking the number from here, putting it down there, subtracting. Take the number from here, put it down there, subtract, and they never once divided. What's this called again? Long division. So the division part's pretty important, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm ready to, I've divided. We got 6. Raymond, what do I do next?
You multiply
What 2 numbers?
the 2 and the 6.
Good. And you should get 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Class, what comes after multiply? Subtract. Now, when I divide by 6, or when I divide by 2 and I got 6, I should have put 6 dots here. Did anybody already do that? Sorry, I forgot. And I've already subtracted. How many did I subtract? 12. So that should give me 1 left over. Okay, so now, what do I do next? Let me pull a stick. Zane, what do I do after I subtract?
Check.
What do I check?
The remainder is less than the divisor.
So is the 1 less than the 2?
Yes.
Bring down your 2. Notice how I kind of spread it apart again, just so it's all lined up. How do I make my place value chart show 12 hundredths, Gage?
You grab that one from the tens and bring it.
Good. And can I write it like that if I want? Yes. So that matches, doesn't it? 12 hundredths, 12 hundredths. All right, so after you bring down, you go back and you do what? You divide. So Carlos, 12, what do I have here? We've already used it, haven't we? So what's 12 divided by 2? Carlos, we just did it. 6, good. Crystal, what do I do after I divide?
You multiply
Okay, which 2 numbers will I multiply?
the 2 and the 6.
Perfect. And I get to subtract and get what?
0.
Okay, so how many dots should I put here? 6. Whatever number is on top of the standard algorithm. And when I subtract, how many do I get to subtract? 12. Right. Okay, so it looks like 0 is less than 2, right? What can I bring down? The 4. Do I just ignore this 0?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm looking for a 4 over here. Do you see it?
Yeah.
What am I dividing by? 2. 4 divided by 2, Moises, what is it? 2. Where do I write it? Good. And then I'm going to put 2 dots in each box. Dade, what do I do now?
You see which is
No?
2 times 2 is 4, so then
Good.
subtract.
Good. So when I subtracted all of them, correct? Do I have any numbers left to bring down? No. Is my divisor less than or my remainder less than my divisor? Okay, so I can write my answer. What's my answer?
0.662.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to do one more problem. That will give you plenty of time for your exit ticket. Turn it over to the back. No. We're going to do B here. And I'm just going to put my does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers right here because I'm not using this box for anything. We'll skip that question. And what do I skip count by? That's the divisor. So I'm going to start with 0. Can you see the last one? It says 36. Okay. So 7 and 28/100ths. Did you notice that I leave enough room to write numbers above the doghouse? Don't bump the doghouse all the way up to the problem. And so I don't forget the decimal. Okay, so the reason I chose this one to practice is because on your exit ticket, your second problem has a divisor of 4. So I thought it would be good to work with the 4. Okay? So here's my first question. 7 divided by 4. Destiny, I'm looking for a number over here close to 7 without going over. 4. So what am I dividing by, boys and girls? 4. So 4 divided by 4, what is it? 1. So I write the 1 above the 7. That's the division step. Okay, Aubrey, now what? Multiply. So what do I multiply?
The 3 and the 1. I mean, the 4 and the 1.
The 4 and the 1. What do I get? 4. After I multiply, class, what do I do? Subtract. Crystal, what do I do after I subtract?
Check.
Okay, what do I check?
If your remainder is smaller than your divisor.
Oh my goodness. Such a happy teacher right here. Is the 3 less than the 4?
Yes.
So bring down the 2. Okay. Now I just brought it down, so that means I'm ready to go back to the beginning and do it all again. Carlos, do you see a 32 over here?
Yes.
Okay, good. That makes it easier, doesn't it? What am I dividing by?
4.
So divide by 4. 32 divided by 4, Carlos. You could think of it like this. 4 times something equals 32. You want to know another trick? Would you like to know another trick, kids?
Yes.
You can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, yeah, okay? So you use that. Now, if you're going to count that, you've got to don't start with the 0, okay? But this is 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3. So this was 4 times 8, okay? All right, so where do I write the 8, Carlos?
On top of the 2.
On top of the 2. Good. Both of those were not here. Enjo, what do I do now? Dave, tell him what I do now.
You multiply.
Okay, so what am I multiplying?
4 times 8.
Which is
32.
good. Class, what do I do next? Subtract. Okay. Moises, what do I do now?
Check.
Okay, what do I check?
The remainder less than the divisor.
Oh my goodness. Say that again. Just kidding. Is the remainder less than the divisor?
Yes.
Makes me so happy.
I
Okay.
pressed it like twice.
Your homeroom teacher is so lucky to have you. Okay, Miss Kinnear. All of you. So I brought down my 8. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. So after I bring it down, I go back and I divide again. Zane, looking for an 8 over here. Is there one?
Yes.
Okay, so what do I divide by?
4.
What's the answer to 8 divided by 4?
2.
Okay. Gage, finish it out for me. What do I do now? Multiply 2 times
4.
equals
8.
Okay. Then what do I do?
You subtract.
Okay. Do I equals 0? Do I still have to check?
Yes.
Is my remainder less than my divisor?
Yes.
And there's nothing left to bring down, so I have an answer. All right. Let's look at the exit ticket.
These are really easy. So.
Good. Now, remember what I said about long division. Sometimes we are ready for it, and sometimes we are not. And we just have to do the best we can. So I'm making this, it's going to be too small to...
Do we have to do with the
Just a minute. It's a little bit, it's going to be too hard to see the other way. So we'll do them one at a time, okay? So go ahead and get it set up like it needs to be set up. Don't worry, I'll let you stop writing this starting lesson 15 unless you forget what it is. And then you're going to need your straight line tool.
I don't have
Just kidding. I know you don't. So put a double line, and then since we're dividing by 2, you just need one more line. What multiples do I need to write?
2.
And then I've got to get my dots on the place value chart. Oops. Now, the second problem, okay, I want to show you the second problem. And then I'll go back and put that one back on there. But the second problem, 576 thousandths divided by 4, what will you skip count by?
4.
Where can I stop?
30.
4 times 9. Good. 36. All right. So go ahead and write that down.